Hello, magical beings. This is Magical Lady Duchess, and today tonight, I'm going to do a video on being an empath. Let me start off by saying this. All of my life, I have been quite the strange bird or creature, or at least that's how, like, my mom described me. She even used to call me Tweety Bird because when I was growing up, my hair didn't actually grow. Anyway, I always felt different. I always felt like I didn't belong. I always felt like I didn't could really connect to people like that. Um, but I embraced my strangeness. I learned really what my life issue was, and that was I was an empath, among other things. These are my notes, and I got some notes on her, so you're gonna see me looking over there. Because I didn't want to miss anything. I've been asked to do this video for quite some time. I don't know why I didn't want to do this video. I guess I kind of felt like that everybody had touched on it. So, and I feel like there are such great YouTubers out there and witches that touch on things. So I didn't really feel like I needed to talk about it because it was like a slew of videos about being an empath. But they keep asking, so I decided to do a video on it. Um, so here goes. So these are some things that I had um, made notes of because I didn't want to miss anything. Being an empath is when you are affected by other people's energy, and you have the ability to intuitively feel what other people feel or what we perceive that they're feeling. Your life is unconsciously influenced by other people's desires, their wishes, their thoughts, their moods. You feel everything. You feel people's physical sensitivity to things, their ailments if they have them, their spiritual urges. Even the Bible says that spirits jump, so to speak. Well, if that's the case, the empath is a sponge for this. Many empaths experience like chronic fatigue, environmental sensitivities, unexplained aches and pains daily. There are sometimes I get up to move around and I am so sore as if I have been running a marathon. And Chaddy, I need to be running a marathon, but I ain't ran him. But these things are primarily I feel them because of outside influences, not of my own. Okay, that's my husband in the background. You can kind of see him a little bit. Yeah. Y'all gonna see all his sexiness. Um, what I will say is that empath people they tentatively are open to feel what's outside of the norm. Um, they will ignore their own needs to help other people out. That's what empath people do. So I've kind of made a list of of things that empaths feel. Okay, so the first thing I wrote down was feeling another person's physical pain. Like I said, I used to have an aunt that still is still living, and my mom used to call her a hypochondriac because you could say that your head was hurting and then her head would hurt. If your back was hurting, your back would be hurting or whatever. And I don't think it's that. I think that she was just an empath, that she generally felt those feelings and she couldn't control them. And a lot of times they would do surgery on her, and because she has this ailment or whatever the case may be, and she actually wouldn't have it. They would thought she was a hypochondriac because she had several surgeries. But I don't think that. I think now looking back and retrospectively, she could have just been one of them people that felt other people's physical pain. The next thing is most empath people don't like to watch movies, TV shows, and stuff like that because we can literally feel what's happening in the story. I remember the most prolific movie that I ever saw that this was so prevalent to was that I had watched Passion of the Christ. This was in my day when I was going to church and stuff, and everybody was going to go see Passion of the Christ. So me and my older sister, Me and my older sister, she, we went to go see the movie. And I remember I was crying like a baby. Oh my God. I was crying like a baby. I could not stop crying. I could not stop. Even if that was the case, or even if that was true, if God, had a son, his name was Jesus, and it really existed, the even thought that this person went through all of that pain in 3 days, baby, when I tell you I saw that, I was just boohooing crying. I remember people like literally laying on the floor in this movie. I would never forget that as long as I live. So most people don't, most empaths don't like to watch, movies and stuff. Especially like I don't like watching scary movies where people getting killed and stuff like that, because I can feel it, and it's like all trigger for me. So if you're an empath, this is something that is a trigger and it bothers you too. The next thing is feeling overwhelmed in large crowds. That is major for me. If you want to see me freak out and like pop off, let me be in a crowd of people. I do not like being in a crowd of people. My husband's cousin had a housewarming party probably like a month or so ago, and I had to build myself up for this for like a week. And so when we first went to the party, I was so overwhelmed by everything that was going on. I was so overwhelmed by all these people in our house. And I ain't never been to a house before. And of course, I was going to come and support, because that's what we do. We try to support everybody. And I was so freaked out. Like, I had to sit near the door, the front door. I think that's where I sit pretty much the whole time, was like by the door. I finally kind of eased up a little bit, but it was just so many people running in and out, so many. Oof. Empaths hate large crowds. I even used to like to go to Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning with the pedophiles. Just so I don't have to deal with people, because they're going to look down. They ain't trying to look at you. The next thing is, you can immediately tell if somebody's a good person. Empaths are great with the intuitive nature, and if they recognize that they're an empath, they can embellish on this gift. Haven't you ever met somebody and they gave you reproach, and you really couldn't figure out why you could not like them, or what it was about them, and then later on something happened and you was like, oh, that's why I wasn't feeling her, or that's why I wasn't feeling him. Empaths are great at noticing stuff like that. They just feel it right off the map. The next thing I wrote, feeling compelled to take care of people. I overwhelm myself with this. I have a tendency that people gravitate to me because of my nature of wanting to heal, but at the same time, I don't want to be bothered with a whole bunch of folks. But I know that's my gift. Another thing was, you're compelled to help people without them actually asking for it. A lot of my coven daughters tell me stuff that they're going through all the time, and I will literally kind of step in, and they don't know that I'm stepping in, and then they be like, oh, this happened good, or that happened good, and I'm thinking to myself, I know it did, because I stepped in, because I went in on your behalf to make sure that it happened like that for you, because I love you and I want you to win. So empaths do that. So these are some 5 steps to protect yourself as an empath. I thought I would just do a collation on the video. You have to recognize indeed that you are an empath, and tapping into that collective consciousness, which is really what makes you able to feel what other people are feeling. But you have to make sure that you can not stop it, because you'll never be able to stop it, but you want to be able to protect yourself, because there are so many people that they come in contact with so many people, they don't know how to protect themselves, and then they wonder why they can't get out of bed. They suffering from depression, they suffering from they trying to kill themselves, and really ain't nothing even wrong in their life. It's just in everybody else's, and they don't know how to cleanse themselves from that. So here are a few tips that I will give you to be able to do that. The first one is Um, turn your negative feeling when you into a positive one. Like a lot of times when somebody tell me stuff that they're going through, sometimes I can listen and I'm good with it, and then sometimes I have to be able to say I can't talk about that right now. I know you need to get it out. Maybe you need to journal or something, but I can't take that. You need to learn how to say no. That's hard because we don't want to hurt people's feelings, but at the same time, you have to protect yourself too. Self preservation is number one. And people don't get that, but you better learn how to have a no in your spirit because that's going to separate that from that. Whatever, right? Um, just be able to prioritize. That's important to this. That's important to your process. Is important to your living. Just being able to prioritize it. The second thing is, um, what is your biggest weakness when it comes to this? And being able to show, to take it, again, something negative and turn it into a positive. That's really going to help you in this process. Remember, everything you feel is not you. Everything you do is not you. These thoughts and these feelings are brought on around people that you are around sometimes. So be very careful with it, and which leads into this. Drop energy vampire people. And let me explain what that means. Sometimes we surround ourselves by people that we know we don't need to be friends with. We know that bitch ain't right. We know he ain't right. But we still trying to be around them anyway because we love them, and we don't want to like abandon anybody or anything like that because of course we're like problem solvers and thinkers, and we'll study of many of things. We always want to help. We always want to solve stuff, but at the same time, these people know this. They're taking advantage of you, and you don't look at it like that because that's what you naturally do. You naturally want to help people. They are energy vampires. Haven't you ever been around somebody and as soon as you leave their presence, you are so weak. You are tired, you are sleepy, and you was just fine before you got around them. It's because they are draining you of your good positive energy. It could be a person that the only time she call you is when she going through something. And everything is all right in her life because you're not hearing from her. But as soon as something happens, here she come calling you, hey girl, you busy? And before you can say no, or yes, she like, girl, guess what James did? And James is just some fictitious person that just doesn't have his shit together. But that's an energy vampire. Or you have somebody in your family. Your family sometimes are the hugest energy vampires. Like, for real. They are like the hugest energy vampires you will ever meet in your life. They have an expectancy that your money is their money instead of them working for themselves. They want to get it from you. So drop the energy vampires. A way to do that is sometimes when you come around them, make a bubble. Like, I can close my eyes. I visualize a bubble all around me. Negativity cannot penetrate that. Their bad energy can't penetrate that. I repelling anything that's negative, anything that's not for me, anything that's not going to benefit me, anything that's not going to be of service to me. I block that. I have a clear bubble. It does not penetrate me. It is not about me. It is about them. The next thing that you can do too is you can raise your consciousness. You can meditate. You can read. You can go take a walk, hug a tree. You can do stuff like that to kind of like pull you away from the norm. Sometimes I will tell you this. I will read a romance novel, one of those Harlem Quinn $3 or $4 romance novels that don't have nothing to do with nothing, to help me just get my mind clear and focus on something else that's not magically related or somebody going through an issue. And then because I'm an empath, I'm reading that book about love. So guess what it's going to make me feel? All in love. Same thing with cartoons. Sometimes if I had a heavy day or a heavy night, the best thing I could do is just watch me some SpongeBob. And I'm not even playing either. And laugh my motherfucking ass off about some SpongeBob. And eat me a bowl of cereal. Drink me some water, go to bed. Start it over tomorrow. So you can do little stuff like that. And my biggest thing that I wrote, my number 5, for protecting yourself and being an empath is learn how to speak the truth. Now, I'm not saying go and start shit with everybody and start telling everybody business and stuff like that. I'm not saying it because some of y'all are seers too and oracles. I'm not saying it. But what I am saying is dishonesty with ourselves and with other people, we create an incongruence in our mind of negativity. It's a bad shift of energy, and it doesn't really benefit or service anybody. It doesn't really benefit or service you, and it certainly doesn't benefit or service them. So I think that you have to create that positive energy, pure energy, because being honest is a pure energy. Being honest is cleansing. Being honest is a wonderful way to get to release. Being honest. I'm being honest right now. I don't know everything. I don't. I'm only sharing what I know, my way. And I don't believe that my way is the only way and it's the only right way. Half the time, I don't even know if it is the right way. I'm just being honest. I think a lot of times that we are afraid to tell our own story because we're afraid of what people gonna think. I did this on my live video tonight. I don't really care what people think about me. They're gonna think about, most of my shit. If you start digging, you're gonna find out my shit anyway. Where I almost went to prison, you know what I'm saying? Where I've been went to jail for fighting and assault. I mean, it's out there. At one point in my life, I was wild. I was out there. I was trying to get it. But I tell my own story. I'm very transparent. That's my truth. That's why I'm able to give pure energy. That's a key thing to protecting yourself from negativity. Is always owning you. Always owning your truth. Being honest creates pure energy that can cleanse you. It's cleansing. It's cleaning. My husband can tell you, and most people that know me, one thing I'm not going to do is lie about nothing. If I did it, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. If I did it, I'm sorry. Hopefully you allow me the opportunity to make amends. But if that doesn't happen, I just got to be okay with it. It is what it is. I think for the most part, these are like some great ways that you guys can cleanse yourself from and protect yourself from people and their energy. Rest, eat, sleep, eat fruits and vegetables. Take a shit. Taking a shit helps. It helps a lot. And if you ain't regular, get regular. Well, anyway, this is my video on being an empath. It is not easy being an empath. You were chosen for a reason. I'm just trying to give you some tools to help make it easier for you. You don't owe everybody you. Not all the time. And always be sure to save some for yourself. I'm Magical Lady Duchess. You can find me on my website at magicalladyduchess.com. Or you can email me as well at magicalladyduchess@gmail.com. That's MAGICKAL @gmail.com. Thank you guys so much. I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, likes, please put it down in the comment section below. I will address it. I promise you I will answer it. Being an empath isn't easy. Sometimes you can control it. Sometimes you can't. You can do this. I know you can. Blessed be to you. Mo to be. Love you. Bye.